Hey guys, today I am at the Mudhouse Museum and behind me are 3 different styles of mud houses. We're going to go to each of those mud houses and check out what's special about them and which is the kind of mud house that you might want to build. So we are going to check out the first house today, and that is the modern design, right? So in Thailand they call this modern design because it's got a single roof like that, and actually it's quite cheap to make because your frame for your roof frame is just simply like that. And it's also called the mangan, which means basically it's as if a horse, the design of a horse, as a horse stands like that, looks up, right? That is the design of this house. So let's go closer and take a look at it. So as you can see behind me very clearly, the design is a angled roof, just like that. It's basically just like that, right? And then there's an additional design, which is why they call it the modern design as well, is because they've added an extra, like a veranda right over here with another piece of roofing. So one piece of main roof like that, protecting the house, and then in the front of the house you have another angled roof this way, right? You can clearly see that design over here. So as I said, the design is super simple for this kind of a roof structure. It's basically just squares, right? Creating squares like that and like that. And what's interesting in this house is that it's also got ventilation openings right over here, right? This is extra ventilation a little higher up in the house, in addition to the window here, right? This house is actually one that somebody is living in. He was very nice enough to open up the house to us to stay, and we're gonna go inside and take a look what it looks like. But before heading into the house, I am just blown away by these massive pillars over here, these huge mud pillars. And I must say they're really cool in temperature, right? Remember, this is Thailand with some tropical weather, so it's nice to touch something that's really nice and cool. That's a huge pillar that's been put in. I guess this is a design addition because it's not carrying that much weight. Usually when you think of big pillars, they're carrying a lot of stuff, but it's actually just carrying a little bit of the front veranda roof structure just over here, right? Now time to go inside. As I enter the house, you know, that's something special about all mud houses. You instantly feel the temperature drop, right? The temperature is at least 3 degrees Celsius, I would say, cooler than the outside, right? That's the specialty of mud houses, because mud just is cooler, right? And basically it's actually just keeping the cool temperature from the night before. Right? So the heat from the outside, from the sun, doesn't really get into the house yet. Later in the day it can get warmer, but oh, actually there's a thermometer right here, and let me see what it says. It says we are at about 26 degrees Celsius, which is quite cool. 26 degrees Celsius in temperature, right? And as I mentioned, that somebody is already living here. This mattress over here, this is the bed. He's got these ropes over here to tie up for mosquito nets. One of the additions you could possibly do is you could close these ventilation holes with mosquito nets, right? Right now the ventilation holes are open. You could close that. But I guess the one aspect about, especially in this house, because this house was a model house that was made, was how small it is, right? You notice the fact that there isn't much space here. It's very basic. This is about how many เสียครับอันนี้น่าจะไม่เกิน3 คูณ 3ใช่ไหมครับ
อันไหน
บ้านนี้ทั้งหมดพื้น
บ้านหลังนี้4 คูณ 4
4 คูณ 4 so this is 4 meters by 4 meters that's what you're looking at right 4 meters by 4 meters is 16 square meters. That is about the size of my mud house at our land that I live in, but this surprisingly does feel a little smaller, right? So, and now the next thing that we want to talk about is possibly the roof. Here you can see the roof on one side has gone up to possibly slightly over 3 meters, right? On the other side is probably down to 2.5 meters. Right? But coming up to how the roof is actually held up, again, the reason why this is the modern design is also because it's very cheap and cost effective to make in terms of the roof design. You notice the fact you've got load bearing structures going this way and then going this way, right? So very simple squarish rectangular design, and then the roof tiles, the roofing tiles are then put onto and drilled onto the roof of this structure. So simple design and cost effective.
Now, one of the really important things in the construction of this mud house that the architect has given extra focus upon is the height of the base over here. This is roughly about 8 inches above the ground, and there is almost 8 inches below the ground as well. And the reason why Sayem, the architect, did that was to make sure that there is no moisture that comes up from the ground up to the house over here, right? This base was made primarily with concrete and rock, right? There's no metal in it. They took the rocks from the surrounding area and then built it out. But as he mentioned, the height really helps 2 things. One is moisture, and number 2 is it prevents termites from coming up. Both of which we have a problem at the our land structure of moisture coming up and termites coming up as well. One of the things you notice here is that this house doesn't have a bathroom. That's because the bathroom is external on the outside, right? That's because this house was not exactly designed for regular accommodation. It was designed more as a museum, as a showpiece of what kind of houses you can make. But technically, it would make perfect sense to have a little door here that connects to the bathroom on the outside, right here, right? So that's an easy addition, but you have to think about that when you design the house, because modifying the structure with mud houses, well, with any houses, is a lot of work. So no bathrooms here. Well, one little addition that is over here that's been again extended from the house, from the side of the house, is the kitchen. So this is a makeshift kitchen, basic for cooking all things. There's a little bed over here, and yeah, there's a rice cooker. So this is basically inside the house is purely for accommodation. Toilets are outside, and so is the kitchen. So that's it for the modern mud house, or the horse standing mud house as they call it here in Thailand, right? It might not be the complete ideal mud house because it doesn't have a bathroom, doesn't have a kitchen, but hey, this is just a model. Remember, this is a Mudhouse Museum, so you can expand the modern Mudhouse design to meet all of your needs. So don't forget, this is one design to look into. Very simple and very easy in terms of design. So let's move on to the next mud houses, and you'll find those in the links somewhere up there.